Hey everybody, this is Travis Robbins from Robbins Rehab. I'm going to tell you today about the difference between plantar fasciitis and tarsal tunnel, because a lot of times they're confused for one another. And I want to be able to give you guys some tools to try to find out which is which. So, plantar fasciitis, true plantar fasciitis is an irritation of the plantar fascia that attaches on the calcaneus. So this is our foot model. This is the inside of your foot. So the calcaneus is here. It kind of attaches on the medial aspect of the calcaneus. Your calcaneus is just your heel bone. If you grab down to your heel, that's what that is, the big bone in the back of the heel. And then it extends through the foot, through the arch, and then it attaches at the ends of all the toes. So the number one telltale sign that someone has plantar fasciitis is if you go to the bottom of your foot and you push on the bottom, the very bottom of the foot where this attaches into the heel bone, and you have a lot of pain, like you jump as when you get that pressure there, when you come in for physical therapy, we push there. That's the most important test to find out if that tissue is irritated. Not rocket science. If I put pressure here and you have pain in that area, it's typically where that connective tissue is attaching to the bone. That's irritated due to inflammation. And most people will say, yeah, they'll have pain with the first couple steps out of bed. Once they get moving, it feels a little bit better because you're pushing that inflammation out that's been kind of pooling up at the bottom of the foot at the beginning or the end of the day. And usually if you get off of your feet, so if you have pain and you're walking, pain's getting worse, and you get off of your feet and the pain gets better, usually a good indication that you have plantar fasciitis. So the other problem that can come separately or together with plantar fasciitis is what's called tarsal tunnel. So not a lot of people have heard of that. A lot of people have heard of carpal tunnel though. So carpal tunnel, for people that have repetitive motion type jobs like typing or machine work or that kind of stuff, very common to have carpal tunnel syndrome, which is just an inflammation of the tunnel where the nerves from your neck that travel down your arm and go into your hand and are used for fine motor activities will have pressure put on it because of inflammation, because of repetitive motion type stuff. Very similar in the foot. Repetitive motion, you know, whether you're walking 5, 10, 15, 20,000 or more steps a day, that's a repetitive motion that a lot of people are doing. So what's happening is causing inflammation in that tunnel where the nerves travel through, kind of on the inside of the ankle, and that can cause very similar symptoms to plantar fasciitis, which is typically heel pain. The difference is you typically have a little bit of numbness or tingling with that. So when you have numbness or tingling, that's indication that there's pressure on a nerve, and that's how one of the main signs to let you know that you're having some kind of nerve irritation, whether that's in the foot or somewhere else in the body. So if you can remove inflammation from that area, so if you put ice on that, or if you take an anti-inflammatory and that removes the inflammation from the area and gives you a positive response, then it's a good indication that you might have some tarsal tunnel issues going on. Now, very commonly they will come together because of inflammation in that same area. What happens is the plantar fascia will cause inflammation that might spill over into the tarsal tunnel, and you might come into our office and have both of those things going on. And there's lots of other tests that we do to try to find out what specifically is causing the problem. The treatment is very similar, but it is two separate problems. So if you're having pain, your first couple steps out of bed gets better as you kind of get moving along, goes away when you rest. That's probably at least some form of plantar fasciitis, and especially if you can push on that one spot in your heel and it's really painful, that's plantar fasciitis. If you have more numbness and tingling and you actually push on parts of your heel and you can't get a painful response, then that is more tarsal tunnel. And again, a lot of times they come together. If you have any questions about this, just hit reply to this email, or if you're seeing this on Facebook, then just comment below and we'll get back to you as soon as we can.